All right, I think I'm live on YouTube. What's up, y'all? It's your girl D Footwork. Y'all already know what we doing today. The post already tells you what it is that we're doing today. I want to make sure I got my chat in here, so we gonna have to slide some stuff over to make sure I have my YouTube chat in here. Cause right now, can I see it? I do want to see my YouTube chat. Let's see. Let's get to YouTube and see where my YouTube chat is before we get started. I don't know why I don't have my cover, and I don't like that. I want my cover on here. I literally have a cover that I would like. Where's my chat though? Okay. I see my live chat, but I don't have my live chat in here, and I don't really like that. I can see it partially, but I can't see it here. That's bugging me. That is really bugging me. I have no idea what my live chat is. I don't know what my live chat is, but we gonna have to find it. I might not find it for this video. I might just do my TikTok videos because we'll see what the live chat says. I'll see it on here, I guess. That's what it's gonna have to be. All right, y'all. So let's just go ahead and get started. So that's gonna drive me insane. This is the SneakerCon sneaker of the year list right here. So they had the Shies at number 10. The original ones, Butter, they had those Shies at number 10. They had the Infinite Air Jordan 17s, 17 lows. They had those at number 9. They had the Lil Yachty's at number 8, the Lil Yachty Air Force Ones. They had those at number 8. They had the Jordan 5 Black Metallics at number 7. They had the Jordan 6. I lied. They had number 6, the Levi Nike Air Max 95 Obsidians. Number 5, they had the Awake New York Arctic Pink colorway. Number 4, they had the Pharrell Jellyfish, the orange colorway. Number 3, they put the Air Max 95 Neons at number 3, y'all. And number 2, they put the Undefeated 4s. And at number 1, they put the Nigel Brick by Brick 4s. So many thoughts about their list, but I won't just harp on how bad their list is, honestly. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just harp on how horrible their list is. Instead, what I'm going to do is give y'all my list, honestly. Because I'm not really featuring theirs. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, no. So first things first. Shy should have never made the list. Those 17 should have never made the list for me. Putting the Levi's on the list before a different Air Max 95 this year is crazy to me. Number 3 being the Air Max 95 Neons. Goofy. So the best thing that I can do is give y'all the criteria on how I'm going to judge sneaker of the year for me. Okay, because I can't do anything but give y'all criteria on how we're judging sneaker of the year first. If we don't set the parameters on how sneaker of the year gets judged, then there's nothing that can happen. H-Town, I'm gonna put you in after I'm done with my list so I can do my YouTube video fully. I want to get through the YouTube video fully, and then I'm going to open it up for discussion and all of that stuff. So, first things first, sneaker of the year for me. For one, it's going to involve notoriety. How many people knew that this shoe is actually coming out. You can't put something on sneaker of the year list when nobody even knew that it was dropping. You just throw a random shoe up there like, oh yeah, this was really hype. It was a really nice shoe, but nobody knew that it was coming out. So for one, that doesn't fly with me. Did people actually know that the shoes were coming out? I need to know. Did people know that the shoes were dropping? For two, another classification for sneaker of the year for me. Stock. How much stock was on the shoe? Stock matters. Everybody and their mama having the shoe usually doesn't work out too well. Stock matters. It needs to be more of a limited type of thing. Like, it's okay to limit things. Am I saying that any of these has to be the biggest takeaway? No. And I'll explain that at the end. But yes, stock matters to me. Availability of that shoe matters to me. Was it sitting? Any sitters are not making my list. I'm so sorry right now. So if you think sitters are making my list, go about your day. That's for a favorite sneakers video. This is not about favorite sneakers, okay? This has nothing to do with my favorite sneakers of the year. I can make a totally different video about my favorite sneakers of the year, but this will not be it. So no sitters, no bricks will be on my list, all right? Which leads me, since I said bricks, resale value counts. As much as y'all think that it does not count, resale value of a shoe counts. You must include the resale value of a shoe. All right. Stock, availability, resale value, demand. How many people actually wanted that shoe? And not only how many people wanted the shoe before it came out, how many people wanted the shoe after it dropped as well? How many people wanted the shoe after it dropped and before it dropped? Those are my main things. So we're going to be looking at resale value of the shoe. We're going to be looking at stock of the shoe. We're going to be looking at demand for the shoe. We're going to be looking to see did people even know that these shoes was dropping? Okay. Also, the last one that y'all really want to ignore, looks, style. Does the sneaker actually look good? If it don't look good, it didn't make my list. I'm so sorry. If the general population, when you show somebody that shoe, is going to be like, that's ugly, it's not making my list. If you show a random person on the street, if you had a survey of 100 people on the street, if you showed them the shoe, are they going to say that the shoe is cute? Or are they going to all say that shoe is ugly? Serious. I'm serious. I just really want to know. So again, 5 things, because that's the main reason that people are going back and forth and in circular arguments all day. Y'all need to set the criteria on what is sneaker of the year, for one. Set the criteria on what classifies something as sneaker of the year. Stock, resale value, demand. Do people know it was coming out? Does it look good? 5 things for me. 5 things, and you'll see those circular things. Now, what I don't want you to think is that I only am caring about one of those. So like, oh, it had the highest resale value, so it's going to make the list. No. It cannot overwhelmingly be only one thing. That does not work. That does not work. It cannot just be one thing. Okay? Y'all, something's making me mad about my YouTube video. It doesn't have my thumbnail, and it's about to drive me insane. There's literally supposed to be a picture on my thumbnail for my YouTube video, and it's not there, and I don't like it. I created a whole thumbnail for a reason, and it's not there. It's going to aggravate me. The whole be on top of the list. Oh, I only cop or vote on what's fly. I don't care. Hey, I understand. A lot of people only look at what looks good. As long as it looks good, it can make your sneaker of the year list. That's a favorite list for me. Actually, being somebody that's in the sneaker game, I'm not making a favorites list. I'm gonna try to fix that thumbnail after the fact, even if I have to just chop this up and upload a whole new video. But yes, those are the 5 things for me. It's not just what shoes do I think look the best in 2025. It's not just what shoes resold the most in 2025. It's not just, oh, what shoe could nobody cop in 2025. That's not my list. It is a combination of all 5 of those things. Does it meet that criteria? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Number 10. And number 10 for me is iffy. number 10 for me, it kind of depends on y'all, because in reality, I only had 9 shoes that made it on this list. I had 9 shoes that made it on this list, and that's all. 9. All right? I didn't have more than 9 shoes. So for number 10, possible number 10s, because I'm going to let y'all debate that. I don't really care about that. Possible number 10s, the unheard of Addy Star pork chop pinkies. Now, I know for y'all that's on my TikTok, y'all cannot see what that shoe is, because a lot of y'all didn't even know that shoe dropped. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about for those of y'all who are on my TikTok. The pork chop pinkies. Okay? That is number 10. Could be your number 10. I don't know. Beats me. I never knew that these shoes dropped, which is why I didn't put it on my list. Doesn't look like a bad shoe, and the packaging on the shoe is insane. But again, I never knew that this shoe dropped. Nobody knew that this shoe dropped. So that's why I didn't have it on my list. My list is really only 9 shoes. And then one that a lot of people are going to want to put on theirs on TikTok. The TikTok people, y'all gonna have to keep up, because I'm in the middle of my YouTube video. The unheard of Addy Star. Everybody was saying that, oh, these was blah, blah. Nobody knew that they dropped. Okay, nobody knew that they dropped, so they don't make my list. Now, for something that is going to be on a lot of people's list, that they were very upset that they were not on the Complexcon's list. The Vans old school 36 colorway that they just dropped, all of those souvenir colorways, that was on a lot of people's list. And let me tell you why I didn't make it my number 10. Let me tell you why I did not make my list. Because it's ugly. That shoe was ugly. And if it was not for resale value, nobody would be wearing it. And honestly, nobody would be buying it, because no one's wearing that shoe. I have not seen one person put them ugly Vans on their feet. I have not seen one person, not in my city, not in any nearby cities. Nobody's wearing these. So to try to put them on the sneaker of the year list, it just doesn't make sense to me, because nobody's actually wearing them. This is a solely resale value shoe, and those just did not make my list. You had to have a little bit of everything. Just being good on resale value wasn't going to faze me. So that's why I said, I don't really have a number 10. 10 things didn't make the list. Another thing that I want to go ahead and address before we even get into what my actual list was, there has been a full-blown argument on, do we include retros as part of the sneaker of the year list? And by retros, I mean re-releases. Do you include something that re-releases into the sneaker of the year list? For me, I seen a lot of people was like, no, blah, 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 blah. But I will tell you, only one re-release made it onto my list. And I wasn't taking it off. I don't care. Now, a lot of things did not make my list. Tokyo 5s didn't make my list. Undefeated 4s didn't make my list. Because a lot of people wanted to put undefeated 4s on the list. Like, oh, because they didn't really drop the first time. If you put undefeated 4s on your list, you have to put Tokyo 5s also on your list. And I'm not going to hold you. I in a way agree with the people who say don't put re-retros on the list, because if it resold for a lot when it first came out, then yes, it's going to be hype and resell for a lot more when it comes out again. That's just the norm. Of course, that's what's going to happen. That's not surprising. That shouldn't get any props. They just re-released something that people missed out on back then. I also did not include the Bread Ones in my list for that reason. Okay, Bread Ones was not included in my list because every time a Bread One drops, it goes crazy. The Tokyo 5s were selling for thousands of dollars. The Undefeateds were selling for $20,000. So I'm not including shoes that were already hype and that were already reselling for crazy prices again this year. I'm just not including those. So if you're looking for Tokyo 5s, if you're looking for Undefeated 4s, if you're looking for Bread Ones, sorry, they didn't make the list. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into what my actual list was. At my number 9. Number 9 for me was the J-Tip Saucony Triumph Force. Some of y'all should know this on TikTok if you even into shoes like that. The J-Tips were really, really nice. I seen them all over the place. I knew about the drops, and then he released this Poison Ivy one. He released that red Poison Ivy one at Complexcon. I really think that they've been sleeping on J-Tips, and he hasn't been getting his props. And this is coming from a person that does not like those dad shoes, those Walmart-looking shoes. And this falls into that category. But I'm not going to let my personal bias for how I think that they look, because overall, you can go to a couple of people, and they're going to tell you they like that shoe. Just because I don't like the shoe doesn't mean that the general population does not like that shoe. But they have some cute colors. Women and men like these colors. I think it's pretty good for a number 9, okay? That was my reasoning behind that one. Now, number 8. Number 8 for me is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max. Number 8 is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max. Instead of putting the Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max on their list, Complexcon put the Levi's. The Levi Air Max. The navy blue pair that nobody could even get. They put that on their list instead, which is beyond me. And then they were making posts talking about the Levi's quality was better. And anybody who's actually had both of the pairs, y'all talking about the Levi's and y'all didn't even touch them. Nope. I touched both this year for retail. I had the Yu-Gi-Ohs and I had the Levi's. Both in hand, both for retail. I didn't pay over for either one of those. The Yu-Gi-Ohs easily cleared the Levi. Like, the Levi's were plain. I like the white Levi's more than I liked the denim Levi's. And that's the ones that they chose to put up there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max 95s told a story. Came with a trading card in this big trading card industry. It's not an ugly shoe. You can put that shoe on and they're not going to think, oh, you have cartoon characters on your feet. No. Like, that is a nice looking Air Max 95. And this is also coming from a person that ain't never worn no Air Maxes. But I got a bunch of Air Maxes this year, and Air Max 95s really showed out this year. Like, if we were just doing silhouettes, Air Max 95 would be up there for sure. But yes, this is my number 8 on my list. Let's go to number 7. Number 7 might be a little controversial because they didn't even mention this in their Complexcon. My number 7 is the Union Jordan 1 High Chicago's. That is a nice shoe. I know y'all hate Jordan 1s now. I understand that y'all hate Jordan 1s now until they resell for a lot. Now, Union Jordan 1 resale is not crazy, but they're not bricks either. So it's a very nice shoe. Y'all got into a tizzy about, oh, if you just wear pants, it's just going to look like the Lost and Founds and blah, blah, blah. Then wear shorts. I don't know what to tell you. That is a really, really, really nice shoe. And I can't wait for the next one to come out next year. Union Jordan 1s always have a place in my heart. But that shoe, y'all definitely was outside. Y'all remember that line at Union LA? Circled around the block? The man was there. Resale was there at one point as well. Like, resale isn't just too crazy right now, but you still can't just go get that pair for retail. And availability. That's the thing about it. Availability for that shoe. It really just was not. I tried to go for that shoe every time it dropped. Sneakers, raffles, EQLs. I didn't hit that shoe. I would still take this shoe. But yeah, my number 7 is the Union Jordan 1 High Chicago's. What is my number 6? Number 6. Y'all ain't gonna like this, and I really don't care. But this is coming from a person who did not like the shoe when I first saw pictures of it, but when I got it in hand, had to keep it. And it did not make the sneaker of the year list in Complexcon. I'm not surprised. A lot of people wouldn't have put this on their list, but this shoe, crazy impact. This shoe had crazy impact on a silhouette that couldn't sell to save their lives this year. What Jordan 1 low sold good this year? So my number 6 is the Nigel Jordan 1 lows, the Better With Times. When you throw them white laces in that bad boy, them cream laces in that bad boy, it is a very, very, very nice shoe. The promotion was there. The demand for that shoe was there. Resale was there. Big sizes sold for $300 when they first released. Availability, not everybody can get them. You really have to go outside. You really have to go outside to get these. Now, EQL, if you entered the EQL raffle, there was a lot of hits. But it wasn't as many hits as it was undefeateds. I will say that. But yes, this is a very, very, very nice shoe. It is one of the only Jordan 1 lows that actually did something this year. And that is because of the name that was attached to it. That is. Let's see. What is my number 5? Number 5 would be the Adidas Addy Star for Real Jellyfish. Now, I know y'all are going to be a little, that is so low, but you got to see what my top 4 is, okay? The Adidas Jellyfish, and a lot of people was mad that this made the list. They said that this shouldn't have even made Complexcon's list. As somebody that doesn't like big bulky shoes, like little Balenciagas and all of that stuff, you got to give it its props. This had the same impact. Pharrell's shoes had the same impact that Nigel's shoes had this year. Like, you can't just ignore that. When they dropped these, they literally did a whole opening on a store. He came in the store, took pictures with everybody, was signing autographs. Like, you just had to get outside to actually get this pair. Availability, hopefully you was outside, because that confirmed app was a demon. But even if you didn't hit this pair, you had better chances on that blue and that gray pair as well. So, hey, I'm just saying, this is a good number 5. But there are some shoes that were definitely better. I feel like the reason I put it so high up too, but not that far up, is because what shoes release at a $300 price tag and it's going to sell in this economy? In the state of our economy right now, what shoes that release at $300 retail is going to do something? Like, come on. Yeah, so that's my number 5, Adidas Jellyfish, the orange pair. All right. My number 4, this is where things start to get good. My number 4 is the Awake New York pink Jordan 5. Now, the reason that this made number 4 over the Jellyfish, because a lot of people will argue that these should be swapped. I thought about it. I did. But the controversy that this shoe caused, y'all remember that scam? The things that y'all was doing to get these shoes. Like, New York don't play. New York does not play. The things that y'all was doing to get the Awake New York pink pair. Because once y'all found out that the pink pair was going to be exclusive, everybody had to have you doing whatever you need to do to get this pair. The availability, I mean, you could hit the EQL raffle, or you could have been paying somebody to try to get you a little link or something. The links was out there for a little bit. Okay? You had the hype. You had the hype before and after the shoe dropped. You had everything that you needed. But yes, this will be my number 4. It's my number 4 over the Jellyfish because the hype was a little bit higher on these Awake 5s. Like, seriously, a little bit higher on the Awake 5s when it comes to that. Let's see. My number 3, and it's very high up. I don't think Complexcon did this any justice. My number 3 is the Yachty Air Force Ones. Whether you like this shoe or not, a lot of y'all are just salty about this shoe because you got it or you passed on it. You sold it too quick, or you literally didn't even go for this shoe. And the reason that I put this shoe so high up is because people were not expecting for this shoe to do good. And when a shoe comes out and shocks everybody, nobody could predict that it was going to do wonders. It catches eyes. And it sticks with me personally. It's going to stick with me personally, the shoes that nobody thought was going to do anything. And then last minute, once they didn't hit and they seen that resale go crazy, they're like, because that lets you know y'all should have been after the shoe. It's always the one that got away. It got to be a high up on the list. A lot of y'all salty, y'all not going to put it that far on the list, but it's the one that got away for a lot of y'all this year. Or it's the one that you sold too quick. I'm guilty of selling them too quick. I had 2 pairs and I sold both of mine way too quick. Way too quick. I did a pre-order on one and then I sold the other one as soon as I got in. Like, I should have kept that shoe. It's a $700, $800 shoe now. But I'm not just putting the shoe up there because of the resale value. As far as looks is concerned, y'all like the shoe. Me personally, I don't like the shoe. But there's an overwhelming amount of people that actually like the shoe. And I do have a newfound love for my Air Force Ones this year. I'm not going to hold you. So these are definitely going up there because y'all slept on them. Y'all slept on them and they did crazy things that nobody expected. They surpassed crazy expectations. And speaking of surpassing expectations, number 2, and this is the one that y'all are mainly going to hate. I don't care. Number 2, metallic black 5s. Oh no, you can't put a re-retro on the list. There's no retros that can be on the list and blah, blah, blah. There's no retros that can be on your list. I don't care. The only re-release that I put on my sneaker of the year list was the metallic black 5s. That's the only one that made my list. And let me tell you why I think that this should be an exception, because there were some other ones I didn't put on my list. I didn't put Bread Ones, I wouldn't put Undefeated Fours, and I wouldn't put Tokyo Fives. And a lot of y'all feel like, well, if you put the metallics, you have to put the undefeateds. If you put the metallics, you got to put the Tokyos, you got to put the Bread Ones, and blah blah blah. I will admit that those are definitely some very popular shoes. Tokyo Fives, Undefeated Fours, and Bread Ones. If we were not doing re-releases, or if we were doing re-releases, yes, they would make the list. But that's just not how my list worked. For me, there was only one re-release that was actually worthy of being on Sneaker of the Year list. And the reason why, okay, the reason that it's different between those, all three of those shoes were hype and crazy. Crazy resale value on those shoes. They had the hype already. They had a bunch of people that was crying about not getting them. They had the resale value already. Metallic Black Fives, when they came out, I remember I was in school. It was a shoe you could just go pick up at the store. A lot of people in my school had them on. It wasn't like, oh man, they sold out, I can't get them. Everybody had that shoe on. And it didn't look like this. There was no reflective. There was no none of that. This shoe came back, and when y'all slept on this shoe, just like the Yachty Air Force Ones, it showed out. And it caught everybody by surprise. It definitely made the list because y'all expected Undefeateds to do good. Y'all expected Tokyos to do good. And y'all expected Bread Ones to do good because they did good back then. And better than good. They did crazy numbers back then. This shoe did not. That's why it's the one that I'm going to include on my Sneaker of the Year list. I dang near had this in number one. Somebody could really argue me down about how this should be number one because it has everything. It had the stock. More than enough stock. It restocked buku times. It restocked on JD Sports. It restocked on JD Sports. It restocked at Foot Lockers in stores. Like, it restocked over and over again. When it dropped, y'all didn't even want it. There was nobody in line. Like, this shoe really showed out. And it showed out without crazy resale value, without hype, without a celebrity backing it. It showed out all by itself because the shoes simply look good. And that's why it's so high on the list. To put it any lower than number 2 is diabolical. And the last one, y'all already know what the last one is. I feel like Complexcon put Undefeateds as number 2 because y'all spent y'all entire year going back and forth about which one was better, Undefeateds or the Brick by Bricks. That was a very dumb argument. There were so many more shoes that could have been compared to the Brick by Bricks hype. Undefeated Fours was not even close to Brick by Bricks. And like I told y'all, no bricks was making my list, and Undefeated Fours were a brick. I'm so sorry. I'm not putting any bricks on my list. That will go to my favorites. That doesn't go to Sneakers of the Year. Okay? Y'all already know what number 1 is. I've been telling y'all what number 1 was since the day I actually got this shoe. Number 1 on my list is the Nigel Jordan 4 Brick by Brick. Cry about it. Do what you want about it. This is the only placement. Literally the only placement, I think. Well, actually, no. I think me and Complexcon agreed with the Awake. Nope, we didn't even agree on the Awake. So this is the only shoe on their list where I actually agreed with the placement. The only shoe on Complexcon list that I actually agreed with the placement. That's it. Jordan 4 Brick by Brick. Why is the Jordan 4 Brick by Brick the Sneaker of the Year? It ain't because of resale. I can tell you that. It has nothing to do with resale, honestly. Like, it's, if I'm going by my categories, for one, stock. It was available. It really said buku retailers. Like, I could pull up my EQL app right now and tell you how many raffles there was for these. I could pull up my Soul Retriever app right now and tell you there were over 100 raffles for these shoes. Are you mad that there was just raffles and there was no first come, first serves? Don't know what to tell you. Like, y'all get dangerous. Y'all don't know how to act. Y'all seen what happened at Complexcon when it was a first come, first serve. So miss me with that. Okay? Miss me with that. They had a bunch of raffles for these. These were available. As much as y'all try to act like this shoe was not available, like, some people believe that this shoe should not make the list because a lot of people don't have it. That's loser mentality to me. Even if I didn't have the shoe, like, there's certain shoes on this list that I did not cop, like the Union ones, like the Jellyfishes, like Yes, I'm doing a YouTube video right now. I'm gonna come talk to y'all once I'm done on YouTube, but I am doing a YouTube video right now. But yeah, there are several shoes on the list that I did not cop, and that didn't stop me from putting them on the list, because I could have easily said, oh, nobody can cop the jellyfish, so they can't make the list. Okay? So that's not gonna work here. That's loser mentality. Just because you couldn't cop the brick by bricks does not mean it is not sneaker of the year. So as far as stock, it definitely had it. As far as demand, people still are going crazy over the brick by bricks. Y'all seen how they was running outside at Complexcon to get those brick by bricks. Notoriety. I heard somebody say nobody knew the bricks was coming out. Regular people didn't know the bricks was coming out. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The promotion behind this shoe was insane. To say that nobody knew that these shoes was coming out when the promo was insane, I can't even fathom that. The excuses that y'all came up with for why this shoe should not be sneaker of the year, none of them stuck. You ain't even believe it when it came out your mouth, okay? Demand was there. Notoriety was there. They knew it was coming. And lastly, resale is there, okay? Resale is there. A lot of y'all are upset because of resale value. Nobody. What about not in the South? Don't say nothing about the South, because I'm in the South. So don't lie. I can tell you right here, Alabama didn't get it. Alabama don't get nothing. It's Alabama. It's Alabama. Louisiana also barely gets anything, but they had stores. I guarantee you I could find a store that actually dropped the brick by bricks. But we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, I really feel like whoop-de-doo, Alabama. I really feel like anybody who doesn't have this as their number one on their sneaker of the year list, that's your cue to just check out of the video. Honestly. Because that person is in denial. That person is biased, and that person is in denial. Even if I did not have the shoe right here, as much as it would pain me, it still would be sneaker of the year. Okay? So if you don't agree that brick by bricks or sneaker of the year, there's no conversation to be had. I'm going to let you know that right now. But in the comments down below, let me know what your top 10 is. Let me know what you did not like about the Complexcon's top 10. Okay? Let me know what you don't like about my top 10, because I set boundaries for my sneaker of the years before I even started. And honestly, that was your warning to get gone. If you didn't like the 5 boundaries that I set, that was your warning to get gone. There were 5 boundaries that I set. That was the cue. Because if we don't agree on the parameters about sneaker of the year, you will continue to have a circular argument. But most importantly, y'all, please understand, these are all just opinions. You don't have to go back and forth with somebody else's opinions. How about you make a video, you make a post, and you post your top 10. And you stand on that top 10, okay? Stand on that top 10 till death. Till death do you part, all right? As always, like, comment, subscribe. You can slide over to my TikTok, because we actually are going to have an actual live discussion about those picks that I made. But that wraps up another video, y'all. D Footwork